हाँ हाँ. So I'll just start the PPT. 1 minute. Karthik, do you have the PDF for that chapter? I think I'm
Yeah,
more sub.
एक
हाँ,
second.
just share the screen. Yeah. नीचे जा. So basically we calculate the cash flow to decide which project. ठीक है, वो सब छोड़ो. हाँ,
ये
रुक. हाँ हाँ, थोड़ा ऊपर जा. ऊपर जाओ. हाँ, ये. So basically ये definition ही ध्यान रखना है कि it is the money left over that can be paid to the shareholders now. उसका operating cost, capital expenditure requirements तेरा, and every so incremental working capital that you have to put in every year, that will also come out in the last year, right? So end of the day, this is the money that is free to be distributed basically. नीचे जा.
Okay.
और नीचे जा, ये छोड़ दे इस. हाँ, अभी so there are two approaches. Okay, see, essentially the second approach is the same as the first. It's just that in EBITDA we have depreciation. Okay, your EBITDA is your actually your revenue, correct? Everything you've earned. For
Okay.
example, your sales is what? Your sales is your after like, sales becomes your EBITDA, right?
Can you
So
explain a bit
No.
again?
Sales minus operating cost becomes your
हाँ
EBIT.
हाँ, रुक जा. एक सेकंड रुक जा. तेरा नताशा क्या बोल रही थी?
EBITDA क्या बोला तुमने?
हाँ,
Can you just say that again?
EBITDA, basically your EBITDA, as Karthik mentioned, that it is तेरा कुछ तो sales है. You have some sales and then you have some operating expenses required for that sales.
Yeah, got it.
Right? So when you subtract those, EBITDA is your earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization.
Cool.
ठीक है? It is your cash flow right now. You're not considering your interest, tax or anything right now. So when you have your EBITDA, ठीक है, you remove your depreciation from EBITDA. Whatever your depreciation for a machine, you remove depreciation from EBITDA. So when you remove depreciation, it becomes NOPAT or EBAT, earnings before interest, tax and amortization, correct? Or net operating expenses. That is your NOPAT. So
Okay.
yeah, so and then I calculate my tax on what? On NOPAT. On NOPAT. ठीक है? So and then I will get some value. To that I add the depreciation rate that would have been there. Okay, so this entire first portion till I add my depreciation back, after that it becomes my operating cash, net operating cash flow. Okay, then we have capital expenditure. So capital expenditure more often than not will only come in T0 or T1. So that is the money you're putting in to buy a machine, correct? So that is, or buying a place. So that is your capital expenditure. Then you also have your incremental net working capital. That is the money that you need to put in every year to have your operations going on. For example, अगर मैंने 100 रुपया डाला है first year में, and in the second year I need to put additional 200 rupees in the business. What is my incremental net working capital? Right now there's 300 in the system. I've put in 300 and earlier मैंने कितना डाला था? 100. So उसका
200.
difference, yeah.
200.
So हाँ, इसका difference जो होता है वो मेरा net working capital होता है. But net working capital, all of it is recovered in the last year when you're closing the project. Okay. Actually, this entire thing, when you look at it right now, it will be very abstract because you won't understand what's happening. Okay. So,
एग्जाम्पल समझ रहा
the thing is, when you actually solve it, you will understand what is happening. So, instead of going ahead with the PPT, नीचे जा कार्तिक एक second. ये okay, ठीक है. So, I'll just ये इससे explain होगा, ठीक है. So, when I have my sales and then I have some cost. 55 is my cost. So my
Okay.
EBITDA becomes 45 in both the approach. See, दोनों tables में my EBITDA is 45 because my sales was 100, but I had some operating costs which I subtracted and I got my EBITDA.
It's basically profit before all the deductions, right?
It's not your profit, it's your
Not
earnings.
your profit.
Earnings. Cool.
It's your earnings.
Cool.
It's your
cool.
earnings. Now I have a depreciation of 10.
Okay.
So what I do is I remove that 10 because depreciation tax shield.
Yeah.
I remove depreciation and then I get what? My earnings before interest and tax.
Okay.
EBIT, that is 35 rupees. Right? Because
Okay.
cash flow में depreciation नहीं आता है ना? Because depreciation is not an income or inflow of cash.
Yes.
Right?
Depreciation is not taxable.
Yeah. So if you remember in FADM also when we were doing free cash flows, CFOs में we used to remove depreciation if it was there. So then you have EBIT. Now you calculate tax on EBIT. Okay. You calculate tax on EBIT. हाँ अभी इंटरेस्ट छोड़ दे अभी
Okay.
out of हाँ रुक जा I think I'm missing something 1 second हाँ
Mm-hmm.
हाँ so here sir has also removed interest yeah ठीक है so actually हम लोग ने जब भी ये चैप्टर करे थे तभी सर ने इंटरेस्ट नहीं निकाला if you all remember sir has not considered interest at all interest sir has considered in the last few lectures when we were solving when sir was teaching us how to further reduce tax on your company we started discussing of interest tax shield so over here what he's done is he's further removed interest that you have to pay so your earnings before tax is 28 now this is the taxable income whatever you're getting taxed you subtract that amount from your EBT that is your 20 rupees so your net income is 20 rupees now
Cool.
so but we don't follow this right now if you look at the second one tax on okay you know what I'll start solving that would be better because right now it's I haven't like मैंने भी देखा नहीं है वापस से तो मेरे को भी एक सॉल्व करते
Pawan?
करते हाँ
Yeah, just one question. Like, a company can choose any of these methods, like EBITDA and
yes
EBIT. वो
yeah
okay.
Okay. And हमने अभी income statement देखा है.
हाँ that's why so that's why in the income statement you remove interest also
Okay. And
but
what
we
is
don't in the upper हाँ
right side वाला table?
hold on
The only difference is Natasha ke in the left wala table you start with your sales
sales
Okay.
and you get your EBITDA.
Okay.
In the right side table you start with your EBITDA
Okay.
and then everything after this EBITDA wala part
Okay.
you do in this table as well.
Okay.
So EBIT in the left table you are going from EBITDA to EBIT.
yeah
And
but
in the right
notice
table also you are going from your EBITDA to your EBIT.
yeah but
Okay.
notice that in the left table sir has removed interest in the right
Hmm.
table there is no consideration of interest there's only depreciation
Okay.
so your EBIT is
Cool.
35
Yeah.
EBIT comes down to 35
Yeah.
I put my tax on EBIT whatever the rate I get tax is 10.5 so my after tax EBIT that is becomes 24.5
Yes.
but I had removed depreciation earlier
Huh.
so I add depreciation back over here
Um,
okay that's one of the most important steps you may people forget adding depreciation back after removing it
Pawan, can you walk through the first four step of this EBITDA?
हाँ तो वो ना sums करेंगे ना तभी समझेगा,
तब
because
समझ
this is
आएगा.
out of
Okay.
context for me also right now.
Okay, cool.
When there is a sum, I'll explain.
Cool.
I'm opening the sum only अभी.
Yeah. And you can safely assume sir ने जो भी करवाया है मुझे कुछ नहीं आता because मैंने
हाँ
lectures
हाँ
नहीं
हाँ.
सुने हैं.
So can you open 8.2 page 260 problem 2.
Yes.
Okay. So we see that it's considering the launch of an advertising campaign for its latest dessert product, the Mini Mochi Munch.
Okay.
And it plans to spend 5 million on TV, radio, print advertisements, and all that shit. Okay, that's $5 million. The ads are expected to boost sales of Mini Mochi Munch by $9 million. So that's an inflow of cash of $9 million, sales of $9 million in year
Okay.
one. And in the next year, I have sales of $7 million.
Okay.
Now, in addition, the company expects that new consumers who try Mini Mochi Munch will be more likely to try Coco Mochi's other products. As a result, sales of other products are expected to rise by 2 million each year.
Cool.
So we safely assume that 9 million sales in Mini Mochi Munch and another 2 million sales of other products in year one.
Okay.
And 7 million in year two of Mini Mochi Munch and 2 million of other products.
Okay.
Okay. Abhi Coco Mochi's gross profit margin for Mini Mochi Munch is 35%. This means 65% is their operating expense over here.
Okay.
Understand? So, okay. Okay, forget that right now. And its gross profit margin averages 25% for other products. The company's marginal corporate tax is 35% both this year and next year. Where are the incremental earnings associated with the advertising campaign? Okay. Now, I'm just sharing the screen. Ignore the numbers right now.
Cool.
See, just pay attention over here first. I have sales of Mini Mochi Munch that we discussed. 9 million and 7 million in 2 years.
Yes.
And then we have other sales of 2 million each
2
year.
million. Yeah.
Right? Now,
Yeah.
ignore this. We don't need cost of goods sold. We don't, sir, as written this, but we don't need this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, gross profit. Now, when you say gross profit, this is your
EBITDA.
Yeah.
EBITDA.
EBITDA.
EBITDA. Okay.
But रुक जा, कार्तिक ये EBITDA नहीं है तेरा, ये gross profit है तेरा. This is not your EBITDA. You remove your cost of TV ads, then it becomes EBITDA.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is your gross profit. Now, sir calculated this for some reason that I do not know honestly, and sir को मैंने बोला because this is not being used at all. Okay, this is nowhere being used also, so it doesn't make sense having it.
Gross profit.
This figure, balancing figure, cost of goods sold.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
What
So,
is the difference between gross profit and EBITDA here?
Your gross profit is again
your gross profit is sum of sales basically.
Your sales में से तेरा profit margin, that's your gross profit, but you also have expenses to reduce, right? Your earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization,
Yeah.
should also exclude any expenses you've done.
Yep.
So if this cost was not there now, cost of TV ads,
Yeah.
this would have been EBITDA.
Got it.
But we have a cost over here of TV ads.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep.
So I calculated this. Then I had some cost of $5 million according to the question.
Yeah.
And then I remove depreciation if it is there. I remove depreciation, so I get EBIT.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, after EBIT, I calculate tax.
Okay.
I calculate tax on EBIT always.
Okay.
So I calculate tax and then I subtract tax from EBIT. So I get my EBAT.
Okay.
That's my net operating cash flow. Earnings before interest after tax.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So now let's go with the figures. Tell me what is the figure for year one.
9 million.
So 9,000. I'm going with $9 million. So I've converted it to, so 9,000 into 1,000 will give you 9 million.
Cool.
Correct?
Yeah.
Second year.
7 million.
So 7,000.
अब भाई पवन confusion.
हाँ बोल.
It says that 9 million increased by this year and 7 million increased by next year.
वो ignore. So 9 million increased by this year. Do you have a previous figure?
9.
No.
But
So
then
how-
for year 2, it definitely should be 9 plus 7.
No. You just
No,
consider
that is
the,
why you see the title. No, it says incremental sales, not just sales.
Yep.
you are just considering your
And yeah.
अगर सिर्फ सेल्स रहता था तो you are right. In the second year it would have been 9 million plus 7 million. But it's just your incremental.
और cost भी देखो, you just have the cost of TV ads because that is the only thing we are considering जिससे तुम्हारे changes आएंगे और कोई cost भी नहीं है.
ठीक है. Now so this part is, these two numbers are clear. Now we go to the second number. What are the other add-on sales?
2 million.
So 2000 year one. Let's work with year one right now.
Cool.
I don't care about cost of goods sold. Now, what is the figure return? What are the tax? So now what is my gross profit? What is my gross profit percentage?
35% for mini mochi and 25% for other products.
So when I'm finding my gross profit, I will have 35% over here of
Yeah.
9 million and
Yeah.
25% of 2 million.
Yeah.
बाकी सब मेरा ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस में निकल गया है. Whatever I have to pay to salesman and everything, वो सब में निकल गया. This is my gross profit. Now I've had how much cost additional?
Cost of TV ads 5 million.
5 million.
Not just TV, it's TV, radio, and print advertisements.
Yeah, so cost of media ads. Let's
Hmm.
put it as media ads.
5
ठीक है?
mil. Yeah.
5 million. Now, is there any depreciation over here?
No.
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 No, right? So what is your, एक second. Now, what is your EBIT over here? एक second, एक second.
Shouldn't the cost of media ads be negative?
Yeah, that's where I made a mistake, I think. Yeah. So there is no depreciation. And what is my EBIT now? Earnings before interest and taxes. This figure,
Yes.
correct? So this is my, this is my earnings before interest and tax. Now on this, I will calculate some tax,
Yeah.
which is 40% of this.
35% according to the question.
So 35%. Correct? Now I had this figure. इसके ऊपर मेरे को इतना टैक्स लगा तो मेरा नेट कितना होगा?
EBIT minus tax.
Understood? So this is my NOPAT. अभी यहाँ पे देखो सर ने क्या लिखा है. Please note that the question asks for incremental earnings and not incremental cash flows. So what are my incremental earnings? Gross profit is my incremental earnings over here. My incremental earnings are what? Gross profit. Correct?
Yeah.
So because that is my income, earnings, whatever I'm earning, compared to last year, this is my incremental earning.
Yeah, why shouldn't earning be your EBAT?
No, EBAT is your net operating cash flow. It's not your earnings. You are removing a lot of things, right? This is
Yeah, EBAT is earnings before interest after tax.
so you want to calculate it, incremental earnings will be before tax.
Why?
I don't know the reason for this. This is an accounting thing.
Okay, convention.
Yeah, so there must be some concept, but I am not aware of why uh gross profit is your incremental earnings.
ठीक है, okay.
हाँ देख सी हाँ अभी देखो बोलता हूँ. My EBIT is not your earning. My EBIT is what? It's your cash flow. अपन को incremental earning पूछा है. Your earnings are these. Net profit your profit margin are your earnings. Make sense?
ठीक है, got it.
So that's why this is the question. What is the question now? What are the incremental associated earnings associated with the advertising campaign? So
ये क्वेश्चन तेरा वहीं पे खत्म हो गया था, ग्रॉस
खत्म
प्रॉफिट.
हो गया. If it asks for incremental cash flow, we would add back depreciation, which in this case is 0.
Okay.
Okay.
एक और चीज
एक second.
पवन, अगर हमारा EBIT जो है that is in negative, do we still have to deduct the taxes?
Yes, because sir said in accounting you adjust for it, but
Okay.
that will include a lot of adjustment all over the years. So in
Okay.
financial, for ease of solving it, we do not consider it.
Okay, cool.
And one second now. Let me.
Pawan, like when we have a negative EBIT, EBIT, so it's like the company will have tax shielding because of this negative sign, right?
No. That's what I said. That's in accounting terms you consider.
Okay.
Okay, that's an accounting term in consider. But filhal, don't fret over that the earnings are negative, so tax is negative. So ideally, if the earnings is negative, you don't have to pay tax. Ideally, but
So
we are not considering
what
now.
this
what
amount
happens is
will
जो तेरा
go.
माइनस यशस्वी, your minus 472.5 वाला जो टैक्स है ना, how will you pay negative tax?
हाँ,
Basically, you are
That
saying that the
tax is
government has to pay
in
this to you.
in accounting, this 472 is carry forwarded to the next year, and you can take a rebate on this 472.
So let's say मेरा next year का tax was 500.
Okay.
So I pay the difference between 500 and this amount.
472.
Yes.
ठीक है.
If the next year you have an interest ना, then you can minus 472 from that. ऐसे होता है.
साले कार्तिक आता तो है तेरे को.
अरे मैं इतना बस सीखा हूँ, but I don't know how to like calculate this Excel stuff.
Also, guys, I just want of you all to check one thing. ये जो incremental earning है ना, just check if incremental earning will be EBIT or gross profit. I am confused once right now. Just confirm if it is gross profit is incremental earnings or EBIT is incremental earnings. Can someone confirm this? Does someone have file solved किसी और का जिसमें वो लोग ने incremental earnings लिखा हो? If not, I'll confirm it with sir once and get back to you all.
Nobody has solved it, bro.
Yeah, no, incremental earnings should include all incremental revenues and costs, but excluding interest expenses.
हाँ, so this is your incremental. Cost तेरा इसमें consider होता है ना, so this is your incremental earnings.
Okay. Interest and other financing related expenses are excluded to determine project's unlevered net income.
So I'll still confirm this once for you all and I'll get back. मेरे को भी doubt हो रहा है, अभी आ रहा है इसमें. मेरे को solve किए हुए 15 दिन हो गए. कभी था अपना
midterm
कभी था?
बहुत पहले था भाई. 15th or something. नहीं.
मेरे को तो मिड टर्म का भी पोर्शन नहीं आता, कुछ भी नहीं आता लिटरली.
ठीक है. छोड़ो.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is clear. Anyone has any doubts with respect to this?
Okay, so incremental earning is basically relative earning. हमें पूरे details नहीं पता है, कुछ उन्होंने details दी है, उससे भी आप finding कि कितना increase होगा हमारे.
Yes. And this sum is not going to come for the exam, trust me. This was, I just took this because it did not have depreciation and it was relatively easier to understand, and it just stops at EBAT. Okay.
Cool.
It ideally will not stop at EBAT.
Cool.
Okay. Any other questions?
We can go forward.
It's clear.
हाँ, श्लोक ने मेरे को ये दिया रे. श्लोक को अकाउंटिंग टर्म्स वगैरह एकदम अच्छे से आते हैं. श्लोक would have been there and I would have been able to explain tax का thing and एकदम properly incremental earnings and all. Okay. So question 3, 8.3. Yeah. Okay, let me just hold on. I need to just check one difficulty levels of the questions I'm going in. Okay. So you all know what sunk cost is, right? Sunk cost, capital cost, ये सब पता है?
Not really.
Kind of.
Okay. So, okay, let's go with the next question. Home builder supply a retailer in home improvement industry currently operates even retail outlets in Georgia and South Carolina. Management is contemplating building an 8th retail store across town from its most successful retail outlet. The company already owns the land for this store. Okay. Which currently has an abandoned warehouse located on it. Last month, the marketing department spent $10,000 on market research to determine the extent of customer demand for the new store. Now, home builder supply must decide whether to build and open the new store. So, which of the following should be included as part of the incremental earnings for the proposed new retail store? So, when we solve this, it's a yes or no question essentially. So if you're able to figure this out, I think previous question का incremental earnings clear हो जाएगा.
Okay.
ठीक है? So the first question is the cost of the land where the store will be located. Will you consider this in your incremental earnings?
No.
Why?
Why not?
It's a sunk cost, right? Like it cannot be recovered.
Yeah, correct. So sunk cost is that expenses already happened.
Okay.
It doesn't matter whether the project will happen or not.
Okay.
You've already put in that money and that money is not dependent on the project.
Cool.
Okay. So that is your sunk cost. The cost of demolishing the abandoned warehouse and clearing the lot.
Yes, it will be included.
Why
right?
yes?
Why? No.
Because you will have to pay it if you go ahead with the project.
Exactly.
But then
Yeah, the cost is part of the project, right?
So here to start the project, you need to do something. You need to clear the land. So your operating expense comes in. You're doing something. Right? So this is your part of the project. To construct the store, you need to do that. You need to clear out the abandoned warehouse and all.
one confused. By this logic, so you will have to buy the land also to start the project.
Yeah, so if land is already there, so okay, let's say I have this question for you, Karthik. The cost of land जो था first question फिर क्या है? The cost of the land where the store will be located, वो कौन सा cost है?
Like, do you mean in terms of sunk cost and all that?
Yeah, but what is that? Like the cost of land जो कार्तिक तू जो बोला ना कि मेरे को land भी खरीदना पड़ेगा. Question में क्या दिया हुआ है? Already have it. The company already owns the land for this store.
Done.
Clear हुआ? ठीक है. So the loss of sales in the existing retail outlet if customers who previously drove across town to shop at the existing outlet become customers of the new store instead. What will this be?
It's not a project cost per se, right? It will be the cost of the other store, like it will be loss of the other store.
But both the stores are for same person, so he has to pay the price.
Yeah, and we are seeing the incremental earning. I think this will be right.
Yeah, but give me a reason.
Because we are seeing the incremental earning, that is the relative earning with respect to the whole chain and not just one store. So
Right.
it will be a loss, पूरे का, मतलब पूरे में it will be a loss figure. So I think it will be included.
Yeah, so we do not know whether it will be a loss figure or not, but there is an opportunity cost
Yeah.
over here. The other stores could have earned, let's say, the incremental earnings is 100. So the other store could have earned that 100, but they're losing out on that 100 because I have a new store now.
Makes sense.
So now my new store has some incremental sales, and my existing stores where people used to drive, the sales have gone down over there. So this cost will be considered in the project. Okay. Okay. Now another question.
Certain externalities.
Let's say,
Yeah.
I had rented out this warehouse.
Hmm.
Let's say this warehouse I had rented out for $100,000 a month,
Hmm.
and now I'm starting a store out here for next 5 years. What
Hmm.
will this cost be?
Operating.
Will you consider
Next,
this or not?
I guess
we will.
Yeah.
What
We
will you
will.
consider?
we will consider it.
But what are you considering over here?
The opportunity cost.
Capex.
Yes. So your $100,000 every month, or or every year that you could have earned, whatever,
Hmm.
by renting out the place, you're not going to get it. So that's your loss now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Getting it? So are you able to wrap your head around the concept?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So question D, the $10,000 in market research spent to evaluate customer demand. What is this?
Is this a sunk cost?
Yeah.
Yeah, Natasha, tu shant rahe फिलहाल. Let other people answer.
Sorry.
This cost was incurred before the project was started on market research, so it won't be considered, I think.
Yeah, Abhisar, also shut up because you've been answering since a long time. Where is Vikrant? He left.
He left.
Bore हो गया क्या वो?
कार्तिक ने भगा दिया उसे.
I'm pretty sure it was you, Abhisar, but okay.
चुपचाप बैठ.
वही प्रॉब्लम तू है वो प्रॉब्लम है. Okay,
Nandini भी गई क्या?
yeah, Nandini also left. She got
Internet breakdown.
okay.
मुझे
Preeti,
कुछ पूछेगा तो फिर मैं भी
प्रीत-
चली जाऊंगी. कुछ पूछ ही मत मुझे.
हाँ तो मतलब ही नहीं है ना तो यहाँ पे what is the answer for D?
No, तो I'll like end में result मिलेगा ना. Just
What is the point if you're not understand? Okay,
I
honestly,
know.
those people left. Let me know if it was network issues or I should wait or what.
Do you want me to ask Nance?
No, I think hold on.
She had message in satsang
अभी सी मैसेज के
and bad
मेरा
connectivity.
रिकॉर्डिंग बस इतना ही.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Cool.
Okay, so let's quickly finish. So yes, D is a sunk cost because I've already spent that money in market research. Now, if I do or don't do the project, it doesn't matter. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's your sunk cost. Fine. E, construction cost for the new store.
Will be
It will be
considered.
considered.
Yeah, so that will be your capital expenditure.
Yeah.
Okay, the value of the land if sold.
It will be considered.
Yashasvi,
Yeah, it will be considered because
why?
It's an asset cost, opportunity cost.
Because
Yashasvi.
if they sold that, they will get money. So it's a
Yeah.
capex
So
thing,
yeah.
and then they can proceed.
Yeah. So that's your opportunity lost over here that you could have gotten. Okay, by selling
Okay,
the land.
what is capex?
Capital
Capital
expenditure.
expenditure.
Capital
What is
expenditure basically वो
that?
बड़ा expenses जो रहता है ना capital expenditure means buying a land, buying machineries.
Okay,
All
okay,
those
cool.
are your capital expenses.
Cool.
कोई
Investing.
भी
Major expenses
हाँ
basically.
मतलब वही ना इन्वेस्टमेंट टू स्टार्ट अ इंडस्ट्री या
Yes,
कोई भी
yes,
ठीक
yes.
है
That's your
Cool,
investment.
cool.
Interest expense on the debt borrowed to pay the construction cost.
Yes. No. No, 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 no.
Why no on why
Because
yes?
incremental earning पे interest नहीं consider की जाती. Right?
Yashasvi.
आई एम
क्या चीज
कंफ्यूज्ड
है
हियर
वापस बोल
लाइक
नताशा?
वाला समझ नहीं आया.
Incremental earning पे interest consider नहीं किया जाता. We just saw, right? अभी EBIT में.
Makes sense.
The interest expense of the debt borrowed.
हाँ या समझा.
Okay. So in incremental earnings, you're not considering interest.
या गॉट इट.
ठीक है?
And taxes भी नहीं consider होते, right?
नहीं.
नहीं.
And everyone is
Yeah.
comfortable in Hindi here, right?
नो.
Oh, sorry.
तेरे
Yeah.
ले रहा है but okay.
हमें ले रहा है वो तेरे.
Two.
Uh,
Yeah.
had depreciation been here, depreciation on the machinery, let's say for example, or depreciation on the building, for
देन
example,
आल्सो इट वोंट बी काउंटेड
नहीं
राइट.
then
So it would be counted.
then it would be counted.
ओके इंटरेस्ट
Okay.
के साथ
Interest and tax नहीं consider होते
ठीक है
incremental
ओके.
earnings में. Depreciation would be counted.
अबे your EBIT ना यशस्वी तो earnings before interest and tax नहीं count हो रहा बाकी सब हो रहा है.
यार ये EBIT EBITDA these are the most confusing shit thing यार
Okay,
finance में.
for
Okay,
question 8.2, your incremental earnings is your EBAT. Earnings before interest after tax is your incremental earnings apparently. Sir ने दूसरे question में solve किया. I just realized it. I was searching
EBIT
for
है
it.
ना?
No, hold on.
Okay.
Point. EBAT is your incremental
EBAT
earnings.
before
EBAT.
amortization.
Before interest before
नहीं,
earnings
earnings
before interest after tax.
हाँ.
तो टैक्स कंसिडर होगा मतलब.
टैक्स कंसिडर होगा
होगा.
मतलब.
या
नताशा कहाँ पे लिखा है तूने incremental earnings?
8.1, like if you go to the book, तो
हाँ
258 में 8.1 forecasting earning का fourth point है, incremental earning. उसमें bullets में सब दे रखा है.
हाँ, so incremental earnings should include all incremental revenues and costs associated with the project, including project externalities and opportunity costs, but excluding sunk cost and interest expenses. Tax नहीं दिया कहीं पे भी.
Tax नहीं दिया.
There is no tax. It's just your interest expense and sunk cost. So your NOPAT or your EBAT is your incremental earning.
No
So
PAT.
8.2, the last figure that we found.
Okay, okay.
Was our incremental.
Your incremental earnings.
Yeah.
Okay.
ठीक है?
Okay. तो इसमें depreciation consider करते हैं और tax भी consider करते हैं.
Yes. Only interest and sunk cost won't be there.
Okay, cool.
Because the name itself says that earnings before interest. Cash flows में we are not considering interest.
Cool.
Okay. ये सब पैसा शेयर होल्डर को जाता है पहले.
Cool.
Okay. So is everyone clear till now?
Yeah. Okay. I just have a conceptual doubt.
हाँ.
Capital budgeting में हम basically नई opportunities के cost निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, right?
हाँ. So you're trying to find out if you're going to put in a
Yeah.
certain amount of money.
Okay.
And what are your cash flows that you're going to generate. So basically, what is the cash that you'll generate to give out to shareholders end of the day every year?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because when you're taking up a project, you take up a project for what? To maximize shareholder value,
Yeah.
right? So that is your
Yeah.
whole basis on which you're taking up a new project to maximize shareholders value. So for that,
Maximize revenue. in other words, right? Is that the same thing?
No, no,
Okay.
it's not the same thing. Your revenue is your entire earnings.
Okay.
My revenue will always be higher than my net profits or net of cash flow, free cash flows basically that I have to give out. Revenue
Okay.
is a larger term. It's your
Okay.
so in question 8.2, $9 million through sales
Yeah.
of that product and $2 million
Ah.
to sales of other products. So $11 million was your incremental revenue compared to previous years.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
my revenue previous year was $10 million,
Okay.
so now this year my revenue is $21 million.
Okay. Cool.
If I'm going wrong anywhere and if any of you all know what the concept is and I'm wrong, just let me know.
नहीं नहीं ठीक है सही बोल रहे हो
बराबर ना हाँ ठीक है. So let's go to the next question, 8.9. Read the question. Someone read the question. सेक्शन 2 वाले इधर आ जाते हैं ना, उनको ही रीड कराओ.
अरे तू क्या बोला कि रेवेन्यू जो है वो नेट इनकम से ज्यादा होगा, है ना? या फिर क्या बोला? यही बोला ना?
रेवेन्यू इज योर, हाँ रेवेन्यू इज योर सेल्स, एसेंशियली पूरा सेल्स.
हाँ तो नेट इनकम तो रेवेन्यू माइनस एक्सपेंसेस ही होता है ना, तो ज्यादा
हाँ
ही
बट
होगा.
उसके अंदर
ठीक
बहुत
है.
सारा उसके अंदर तेरा बहुत सारा टैक्स, इंटरेस्ट, वो सब भी आ जाता है नेट इनकम में. Your net income is basically of earnings after you've paid off interest, after you've paid off tax, amortization, depreciation,
हाँ
everything.
सारे एक्सपेंसेस.
So if you noticed the in the PPT, the left portion that sir had solved, that was in the end, the figure that you're getting is your net income. So sir got a value of something around 35, and then he subtracted 7 rupees of interest. So that was your earnings before tax. Then he deducted tax from it. And then the final 20 out of 100 that he got was your net income.
That's the net income.
Yes.
तो प्रॉफिट हमेशा रेवेन्यू से कम ही होगा. Profit.
Profits. Okay, revenue has nothing to do with profits or profit or loss. You can have a huge revenue, and just because you're cutting down on cost, you're under costing everything, you're pricing it at below the cost of what you're making it for, you can still have a huge revenue by selling a large amount of those products. For example, मैं 10 रुपए में बना रहा हूँ, competitor 12 रुपए में बेच रहा है, वो भी 10 रुपए में बना रहा है, but just because I want market share, I will sell at 8 rupees. Now I'm selling 1,000 pieces of that product X, let's say. So $8,000 is my revenue. If one costs $8, my revenue is $8,000. And let's say I'm selling it for $11. Okay.
So the taxes we pay on profit, na, not on revenue.
Yeah, so it's after removing everything, after removing your depreciation, interest, and everything. So you see this figure, you see your EBT figure. Basically, what you need to do is, what will happen if this figure is higher? What will happen if this figure is higher?
Tax will increase.
So my tax will increase. So my earnings will decrease. So what I need to do is I need to minimize this figure over here. I don't mind. Okay. So, okay. The concept over here is, even if I have a lot of debt, as sir explained, Apple is one of the companies that has the second highest debt in market. Okay. But they get a interest tax shield. Right?
Makes sense.
So if say they had 7 rupees of debt, okay, that 7 rupees of debt over here, let's say they are getting a tax shield of 30%. So they're getting a tax shield of 2.1. So essentially, how much tax are they paying? 5.1, 5 point something or 4 point something. Your tax rate is reducing, right?
Yeah, tax rate will be reduced.
Because I will remove that the higher this amount, the lower this amount also. So the lower I pay tax, so my net. So when I'm not paying taxes, that's an inflow of cash for me.
Yep.
And as Apple is a AAA company, AAA credit rated company, they will have to pay, let's say, 5% of interest. But that 5% of interest is still lower than 30% of tax.
Got it. It happens in our
Okay.
incomes as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Income slab.
और
Yes.
नेट प्रॉफिट ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट से ज्यादा कभी हो सकता है?
नहीं, it
नहीं,
cannot
नहीं।
happen. It can never happen.
लाइक क्यों नहीं? जैसे कि
अरे बिकॉज सुन,
प्रॉफिट क्या होता है,
जो
हम जो सेल्स है उसमें से जो भी एक्सपेंडिचर है वो हटा रहे हैं और नेट प्रॉफिट में हम ओवरहेड्स भी हटा रहे हैं. बट लाइक इफ सम टाइम अगर ऐसा हो कि कोई नॉन ऑपरेटिंग इनकम
अच्छा,
है.
एक काम कर प्रीति, ऐसा सोच कि you're making, let's say you're making earrings and you are selling them. Okay? You made the earrings for
10
50 rupees. Let's say you're selling them for 100 rupees. Okay? You're selling them for 100 rupees. You made them for 50 rupees. Okay, what is your revenue in this case?
100 rupees.
100 rupees.
Let her answer. What is the revenue?
100 rupees.
Your revenue is 100 rupees. Now you consider that you had to ship them to some other state and वो सब expenses गया तेरा. वो सब expenses तूने cost price में तभी consider नहीं किया. और let's say you're also paying tax. You took 50 rupees to make those earrings. Correct? Your gross profit is what? 100 rupees minus the cost that you took to make those earrings. Now your 50 rupees is your gross profit. It's still less than 100.
बट जैसे मुझे कोई ग्रांट मिल गया मेरे उसके रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर के लिए, और ऐसा कोई केस पे कोई केस ही नहीं हो सकता लाइक व्हेन दिस की net profit is more than gross profit. कोई
No.
Grant is not your profit.
ग्रांट नहीं, सी तेरा ग्रांट अगर लेट्स से तेरे को किसी ने 100 रुपया दिया, ले बना तू, दैट इज अ ग्रांट. करेक्ट? बट लेट्स से तेरे को किसी ने 100 रुपया दिया, तो तू 100 रुपए में एक ही इयरिंग बनाएगी कि दो पेयर्स बनाएगी?
एक ही बनाऊंगी.
Why? What will you do of those 100 rupees that you have? Let's say what will you do of the rest 50 rupees you have? In that case, nothing. Let's say you don't use those 50 rupees. Okay? You have those 50 rupees and the one pair of earring you made, you sold them for 100 rupees. So how much cash do you have with you right now?
क्या फिर से बोल.
मैंने तेरे को 100 रुपया दिया इयरिंग्स बनाने को. तूने एक ही बनाया 50 रुपए में, तेरे पास 50 रुपए ऐसे ही पड़ा है कैश में. करेक्ट? एंड तूने 50 रुपए के इयरिंग बनाया और 100 रुपए में बेचा. तो तेरे पास कैश कितना आया अभी?
मेरे पास 150 हो गया.
150? मैंने तेरे को 100 रुपया दिया था. ठीक है? और तूने 50 रुपया अर्न किया उसमें से. ओके, तो टोटल रेवेन्यू क्या हो गया तेरा? 150 रुपीज. करेक्ट? मैंने तेरे को ग्रांट दिया 100 रुपीज, फिर भी तेरा रेवेन्यू कितना हुआ? 150. Your grant and all that you consider, okay, it gets considered in your revenue. Your revenue is basically how much money total I have before everything. समझा? तेरा रेवेन्यू इस केस में 150 हो गया क्योंकि मैंने तेरे को 100 रुपया दिया, उसमें से तूने 50 रुपया यूज किया और तूने.
और नेट प्रॉफिट और ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट तो सब डिफरेंट है ना.
हाँ, तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ. योर ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट इज आफ्टर. So over here, what will your gross profit be? 100 rupees, because you're removing 50 rupees cost. You're removing 50 rupees cost. So what is your gross profit? 100. Now, if your gross profit is 100, your revenue is 150. How can your interest or net income be more than 100 or 150? Revenue के अंदर सब आ जाता है तेरा. Profit loss सब आ जाता है. Revenue is how much you are worth right now. समझा? Don't get confused.
हाँ ठीक है. तो
अच्छा, तेरे को डाउट है तो बाद में मेरे को पूछ लेना. अभी we'll move ahead.
डिबेट करेंगे हम. ठीक है.
कार्तिक डिबेट ट्रिगर्ड. अच्छा, Indian enterprises is deciding whether to expand its production facilities, although long-term cash flows are difficult to estimate. Blah blah blah.
मेरा 6 बजे मीटिंग है, वो 6:04 हो गया, मेरे को जाना है.
हाँ ठीक है. हाँ चल. So अभी मेरे को क्या क्या दिया है? I have been given revenue for the first year. ये revenue पे ही गई. What is my cost of goods and operating expenses other than depreciation?
40.
So 125 minus 40 is what?
85.
85. Now 85 minus depreciation is how much?
25.
25.
Yes.
Your depreciation is 25 given.
60 यार, 60 यार.
60.
हम एक्सेल या कुछ ऐसा क्यों नहीं यूज कर रहे हैं?
हाँ सॉरी ठीक है.
Good observation.
Your 60 is your one you started off with 125.
Yeah.
Your cost of goods sold and other expenses is 240.
40.
So that's your EBITDA now.
Okay.
You removed all your operating cost and expenses and everything, cost of goods and everything. That's your 40 or 85 EBITDA आया. अभी मैंने depreciation निकाला इसमें से. My EBITDA includes depreciation.
Yep.
तो मैंने depreciation निकाला तो EBIT हो गया अपने आप. 60 rupees is my EBIT.
ठीक है.
मेरे को टैक्स लगा EBIT पे 21 रुपया टैक्स.
Tax 35% उसका.
Yeah, so 35 or 60 is
Yeah, okay.
21 rupees.
Yes.
39 rupees is my NOPAT or EBAT. That is
Okay,
my
what is
incremental
NOPAT
earnings.
again?
Net operating profit after tax, I think. Is it?
Okay.
Is it that? Or you can call it earnings before interest after tax.
After tax. Cool.
That works better for me.
Yeah, for me as well.
Yeah. So that is your incremental earnings.
Cool.
Okay. Now you had removed depreciation over here.
Yes, क्योंकि उस पे tax नहीं लगता.
Yes, so you add depreciation. This is your operating cash flow.
Cool.
Now, what is given? Increase in net working capital is
5.
Yeah. And how much is your capital expenditure?
30.
30.
30. Correct. Now, what I do is 39 plus depreciation add किया मैंने यहाँ पे. एक second. So this will be what?
64.
Plus 25
Yes.
minus 30 is 34 minus 5. So this is your operating cash flow, I think. Yeah. This is your operating cash flow after you add depreciation.
Okay.
Okay. So now I always remove capital expenditure and incremental net working capital from my operating cash flow.
Incremental net working capital would be how much we are, like how much more operation cost we are paying, right?
Incremental net working मैंने और कितना ज़्यादा पैसा डाला कंपनी में to have it run. Correct.
Okay,
You're
cool.
correct.
Yeah.
Short-term expenses, kind of.
So your operating cash flow is 64. You remove capital expenditure, that is the money that you had put in, and you remove the extra money you had to put in for the business to function. So this is your free cash flow that you can distribute to the shareholder.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. Now you look at it for the second year. The same thing goes on. 160 is my revenue, 60 is my cost. So 100 is my EBITDA. I remove depreciation. Okay, I remove depreciation. I get some EBIT. I remove taxes. This is my incremental earnings.
Yes.
I add back depreciation over here. So this plus this, and I subtract these two values from 77.6, and I get my free cash flows that is free to distribute in year 2 to shareholders. Okay. Or let's say this was my, let's say this was my 10th year of the project, and my net working capital मैंने 5 डाला यहाँ पे सिर्फ. Second last year में ही मैंने सिर्फ 5 डाला और कोई भी साल में मैंने कुछ नहीं डाला. Let's assume that. So this 5 net working capital will be recovered over here, will be added over here. If I am dissolving the project. See यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है?
Okay.
We have not considered recovering of working capital as the problem indirectly states that. हाँ.
5 + 8 नहीं recover होगा.
हाँ अरे मैं sorry 5 + 8 recover होगा इस this case, but मैं ये 8 assume नहीं कर रहा था, sorry. हाँ, so I missed this 8, so my 5 will be recovered and this 8 also will be recovered, so 13 will be recovered. So मेरा free cash flow में यहाँ पे 13 hour add हो जाएगा.
Cool.
I just
अगर project close
let's say I don't have this, so in that case और previous year में कुछ है ही नहीं, तो मेरा यहाँ पे add हो जाएगा. 5 add होगा यहाँ पे तो, और अगर मेरा यहाँ पे 8 है तो मेरा 8 ऐड होगा,
तो 13 ऐड होगा, राइट?
हाँ सॉरी, मतलब 5 के साथ 8 ऐड हो जाएगा, इज व्हाट आई मीन टू से.
cool.
So I'll so think of it this way. तूने बिजनेस में पैसा डाला 100 रुपया, ठीक है, अभी तू बिजनेस बंद कर रही है. Now your business is a separate entity legally.
Yep.
So your business owes you 100 rupees.
Got it.
You're taking back that 100 rupees.
Got it.
ठीक है.
Done.
So 8.9 के बाद 8.10 पे जाते हैं अभी. First read the question.
अच्छा, एक और चीज, कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर्स में हमारा लैंड कॉस्ट और वो सारा भी आता है, राइट?
That is if you are buying it for the project.
Okay.
Are you going to buy the land only if the project is going to happen? Yes, then it will be a capital expenditure. No, then it is a sunk cost.
Yeah, that's okay. So अगर हमारा प्रोजेक्ट बंद होता है तो हमें कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर का भी तो कुछ पार्ट मिलेगा, राइट?
Are you selling off the land?
नहीं.
So तेरा
Okay, got it.
ठीक है?
Yeah.
Good. So we'll go ahead, read question 10. You are a manager at Percolated Fiber, which is considering expanding its operations in synthetic fiber manufacturing. Your boss comes into your office, drops a mail, drops a consultant's report on your desk and complains, we owe these consultants $1 million for this report. And I'm not sure their analysis makes sense. Before we spend the $25 million on the new equipment needed for the project, look it over and give me your opinion. You open the report and find the following estimates. $30,000 is your sales revenue for 10 years. Your cost of goods sold is $18,000. Okay. Your gross profit is $12,000. Other operating expenses are $2,000. And your depreciation is $2,500. 1 second.
This is for 10 years. इसमें हमें इनका NPV निकालना पड़ेगा क्या?
वो डिपेंड करता है ना, पूछा क्या है.
अच्छा, ओ ये बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन है.
As in if you are asked के do you go ahead with the project or not, then NPV. But in the previous
so
question only.
Don't get into this right now. वो बहुत दूर है. NPV and IRR calculation is legit like not even 10% of this entire problem. Okay, don't consider that.
Okay.
Don't go get into that. First, let's figure out what's given ahead.
Cool.
All of the estimates in the report seem correct, but you know that they have used straight line depreciation for the new equipment that will be purchased, which is what the accounting department recommended. The report concludes that the project will increase earnings by 4.875 million per year for 10 years. The project is worth $48.75 million. Right? You think back to your halcyon days in finance class and realize there is more work to be done. First, you note that the consultants have not factored in that the project will require 10 million in net working capital.
Okay.
Which will be fully recovered in year 10. Next, you see that they have attributed 2 million of selling general and administrative expenses. Can you tell me where it is in the table?
General sales and administrative experience, second part, second
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, so that's 2,000 into 10. So that's your $2,000 into 10, I think. Yeah, so that's your $2 million to the project. But you know that 1 million of this amount is overhead that will be incurred even if the project is not accepted.
Oh,
So what will this amount be now out of 2 million?
sunk cost. 1 million would be the
Sunk
sunk
cost.
cost.
Yes. Finally, you know that the accounting earnings are not right thing to focus on given the available information. हमको छोड़ अभी यहाँ पे क्या adjustment होगा पहले वो बोलो. I'll stop sharing. Host, tell me what will, based on the table given in the book, what is your adjustments to be done?
General sales and administrative expenses को हम 1000 कर देंगे. 1 mil हो जाएगा. And
net working capital आएगा.
Okay.
Yeah, and जो total worth है वो 48.75 mil नहीं रहेगा.
Okay.
For 10 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Capex
So now
expense.
someone open their Excel and can someone show it to me before I tell y'all? Can someone make this table based on the changes in $2 million to $1 million? वो बोल मेरे को. Someone share their screen. Start Excel and share their screen. This is actually still not the this is actually, you know, most of the data is given to you. You don't have to calculate. So this is still not a sum that is going to require a lot of thinking in terms of capital budgeting, how to, everything is given to you.
Don't judge me if I make mistakes, okay?
No. Chill. If I wanted to judge, I wouldn't be here right now.
Okay. Sales revenue is 30,000 or then we have COGS.
Wow, what are you saying?
What?
Nothing. That came out very wrong when you said something, but never mind. I'm not going there right now.
Go to horny jail. Gross profit. Gross profit would be EBITDA, right?
You tell me.
I think it will be.
Are you sure? There are no other expenses to cover, then yes. If there are more expenses to cover, then
general
no.
sales and administrative expense. Okay.
And Natasha, अच्छा ठीक है, fine. Don't take for हाँ चलेगा. Continue what you're doing. Continue.
What were you saying?
No, continue. Nothing.
Okay. Then we have general sales and administrative expenses.
भाई एक बात बताओ. Cost of goods for 12,000, gross profit 18 कहाँ से आया?
मैं रुका हूँ, उसको करने दे, रुक जा. It's okay. Let her realize.
What am I realizing?
Look at the question in the book and look at what you've done.
Oh, okay, fuck.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, guys, I will stop with this sum for now. मेरे को POM थोड़ा खत्म करना है. कार्तिक, तेरा POM फाइनल हो गया क्या फाइल?
फाइनल हाँ.
मेरे को एक बार भेज, मेरे को
मैंने
देखना
किया
है।
वही है।
तूने जो लास्ट भेजा वही है?
नहीं, मैं आई डिड योर थिंग। होल्डिंग कॉस्ट इज इक्वल टू 10% ऑफ
मार्जिन और
मार्जिन।
पेट्रोल प्राइस। मार्जिन लिया तूने, बट आकाश ने 70
भाई
रुपीज
आकाश ने जो किया उसको छोड़ दे, ही हैज डन समथिंग एल्स जो सर को भी नहीं समझ आ रहा फ्रैंकली।
Depreciation, then net.
What Akash? हाँ, Natasha, you keep writing. We are just discussing
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
आकाश ने क्या सोचा? He didn't calculate EOQ. He took the fixed demand model as fixing his demand as 6,000. Whereas fixed demand should be equal to the EOQ. तो इसलिए he was wrong. सर यही समझा रहे थे उसको बाद में.
ठीक है।
Okay, net operating income would be EBIT.
हाँ 85 आएगा ना आई थिंक, या 12,000 minus 3,500, 8,500 होगा ना?
Oh, right. Income would be this minus this, right? Net operating income minus depreciation.
Yeah.
What would be the income?
But there's a tax thing given na.
Sorry.
कितना परसेंट है?
नहीं नताशा,
ये percentage है.
परसेंटेज है.
Natasha, calculate tax.
Where is the percentage though?
5 तो अच्छा दिया हुआ है, रुक जाओ।
परसेंटेज
7,500 पे कैलकुलेट कर लेंगे तो परसेंटेज आ जाएगा और वो परसेंट इस पे अप्लाई कर देंगे।
ये भी सर साला दिमाग बहुत लगाता है, व्हाट्सएप में पता नहीं चलता है।
नहीं परसेंटेज दिया रहेगा किधर, तो रुक जाओ।
आई थिंक
विशाखा का मेथड तो है
35%.
हाँ ठीक।
हाँ कहाँ पे दिया हुआ है?
नहीं he calculated by
Calculated है.
हाँ ठीक है, फाइन, फेयर इनफ।
Net income. Net income would be this plus मतलब 8,500 में से ये दोनों subtract हो जाएगा, right?
डेप्रिसिएशन क्यों सब्ट्रैक्ट होगा?
डेप्रिसिएशन बाद में ऐड करेंगे ना कैश फ्लो के टाइम पे
ऐड होगा।
वो नेट इनकम ऐड करेंगे ना कैश फ्लो निकालने के लिए।
So subtract 8,500 minus 2,975 first.
Okay.
Now add depreciation.
We have to add depreciation.
Yeah.
That's
You
for
remove
operating.
depreciation. You remove depreciation,
right?
so you will add depreciation now.
But
नहीं
depreciation.
Pavan, this net income is correct. What you are saying is operating cash flow.
Cash flow के ढूंढने के लिए, हाँ।
हाँ तो वो अगले लाइन
But
में।
हमें तो net income चाहिए ना।
हाँ नहीं आगे you need operating cash
you
flow.
You need
then
everything you like.
Okay now.
तू net income को तो drag कर फॉर्मूले को।
Okay.
Then operating cash flow is net income plus depreciation. भाई मैं गंद बोल रहा हूँ तो मेरे को करेक्ट कर देना।
नहीं कंटिन्यू में बोलेगा, गलत हुआ तो
लग रहा है
ठीक है, अब इसको अच्छा येलो कलर दे दे एक बार
अरे
किसको?
ये सब बाद में कर लेना।
ऑपरेटिंग कैश फ्लो को।
Push
अब आ जा नेटवर्किंग कैपिटल पे।
net working capital. Okay.
When was this networking given?
मैं ऑपरेटिंग कैश फ्लो पे थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज हो गया।
क्यों?
Guys, how are you all doing economics tomorrow?
जय श्री राम।
है ना तो
Are you all, is anyone going to dare to like?
नहीं
No,
सोचो भी मत।
I know. मैं इसलिए पूछ रहा था क्या।
अभी सर knows how to do it, अभी सर बताएगा।
अभी सर कैसे करता है?
अरे
क्या?
लैपटॉप का एंगल ऑब्ट्यूस एंगल पे रख और मतलब टेस्ट से पहले जूम में देख ले एक बार कि तेरा खाली शोल्डर और फेस नजर आना चाहिए।
तो वो तो
और
वैसे भी आता है, शोल्डर और फेस ही तो आता है।
तो अगर पिक्स लेगा फोन से तो देखेगा नहीं उसमें।
समझा मैं।
नहीं
बट तेरा
तो
फेस तो देखेगा ना।
नहीं ओ मैं पिक्स लेके करूंगा क्या फिर
फोन पे भेज, फोन से शेयर करेगा।
शेयर करेगा
तो वो किसी को आना भी तो चाहिए ना आंसर शेयर करने के लिए।
कोई तो print
अच्छा
करेगा।
अच्छा,
अबे
let's
छोड़ो।
हाँ ऑपरेटिंग
हाँ।
कैश फ्लो क्या दिक्कत है नताशा?
एक मिनट, just I'm saying it, tell me if I am wrong somewhere. Okay. हमने ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट निकाला, उसमें हमने ये ऐड किया, राइट? एंड इस पूरे से हमने डेप्रिसिएशन सब्ट्रैक्ट कर दिया तो हमारा आ गया एबिटा।
your EBITDA,
नहीं,
yes.
EBITDA, EBITA.
Yes.
This is EBITDA,
Yeah. So
right?
12,000 minus
Okay.
11,000 is your EBITDA. 12,000
Yeah.
minus 1,000 is your EBITDA.
12,000 minus 1,000 is my EBITDA, DA.
Yeah. So if you don't want to create a confusion before depreciation, add a row and write EBITDA and calculate it.
Yeah.
If you get confused like this, you better write it down instead of.
That would be 12,000 plus 1,000.
माइनस
Yeah, Karthik, how are you sending POM? Are you doing it in Excel or what? Or embedding?
नहीं एक्सेल प्लस जिप फाइल, एक्सेल प्लस वर्ड इन जिप फाइल।
क्योंकि बहुत सारा है zip, कितना तू मैं embed
बहुत सारे
करेगा?
मतलब क्या किया तूने ऐसा?
फोरकास्टिंग, अरे मतलब फोरकास्टिंग का एक शीट और वो
सब कुछ जिप
फोरकास्टिंग।
कर दे।
हाँ वही तो, मैं दोनों वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट और इसको जिप करके अपलोड कर
अरे
देता हूँ।
कोको यही है ना, कोको बताएगा।
कोको तो उसे वो एक्सेल में कर रहा है, वो बोला
मेरे ग्रुप ने तो एक्सेल में करा है, बस उसी में डिस्क्रिप्शन
आंसर्स। हाँ
तू सब कुछ जिप कर दे ब्रो। आई एम
हाँ, I'll zip.
लाइक हमने भी एक वर्ड किया, एक वो किया पीडीएफ, एक एक्सेल।
Right.
I तो wrote also in the word file के there's a attached excel sheet named this. confusion ही ना रहे साले को।
Okay, cool, got it. Net working capital.
Where was this shit given? हाँ 10 million year 0.
10 million. अच्छा,
Net working capital
10 million would be 10,000.
0 लगा दे ऊपर।
capex कितना है?
क्या?
नहीं एक सेकंड।
This is it, right?
Will be fully recovered. Year 10 minus नहीं sorry, year 0 minus 10 million. Year 10 plus 10 million.
Would it be plus 10 million?
मेरे हिसाब से।
Yeah.
Because in the first
You don't write
zero,
it. You don't write it. You never write it in the same line as incremental net working capital. But
चल next
ठीक है
line में
चले।
लिख ले यार।
नहीं मतलब confusion होता है इसलिए। If you are fine with
हाँ
it, if you know.
nitpicking.
then write it there.
Nitpicking.
I'm not nitpicking. I'm saying if you get confused, then write it in the next line so that you understand कि ये मेरा recovered पैसा है.
चल लिख भाई नताशा recovered लिख.
अरे भाई तू क्यों मतलब.
नहीं सही, he's right.
That's it.
अब अच्छा ब्लू कलर दे दें दोनों को.
अरे यार क्या आदमी है.
ए टाइम वेस्ट मत कर, नीचे जा.
हाँ.
Minus 25K.
Straight line depreciation. That's okay, right?
But why are you taking?
मतलब क्या करना है इसमें हमें?
Read question or there is one more capital expenditure that you're missing out.
Starting में लिखा है.
अच्छा, right. But isn't that a sunk cost?
No, that is not a sunk cost. It requires an investment of 25 million to start. Sunk cost it no
Right,
cost is
right,
that 1 million you
okay.
gave to the consultant
Got it.
who bullshitted you.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So that would be the
capex.
At T0.
Minus 25. कैपेक्स बोलने में इतना सेक्सी साउंड करता है ना.
You know? And then you realize.
You realize your life is going shit when you find capex sexy.
You realize you have paid 70 lakh for a distance MBA course.
And then वो छोड़ दे अभी, जान दे, और डिप्रेशन में मत डाल अभी.
MBA मत बोल please.
Oh god. Okay.
हाँ भाई, add everything for free.
इसको कौन सा रंग करना है कार्तिक?
कोई भी कर दे, ग्रीन कर दे मेरी बला से.
White कर.
तू ऐड कर दे बस सारे.
Black मत कर देना.
हाँ, अब क्या करना है?
Free cash flow is the addition of all.
Free cash flow. This नहीं क्या word, say that again. क्या होगा free cash flow?
Add it ना, add the yellow, blue and green. अरे zero वाला भी भाई.
हाँ, वो मैं ट्राई कर दूंगी. I don't know what I'm doing. Wait. And this.
एक सेकंड ऐड करेंगे.
क्या
25 और 10 ही ऐड करेंगे ना. अच्छा समझो, ठीक है.
अरे she didn't do T0 ना पहले.
हाँ
ड्रैग कर दे तू T10 तक.
हो गया. खत्म. Now you find NPV IRR जो भी करना है.
NPV इससे आएगा नहीं.
NPV आएगा.
नहीं but then you need to write 3 4 5 6 7 8 पूरा लिखना पड़ेगा ना 10 तक.
हाँ वो तेरे को 10 तक करना पड़ेगा. Basically now you understood. See, as I said, it's not even 10% of the question. Your question comprised of all the things you just did. Your NPV and IRR
but
is
the
a
final answer comes from NPV ना.
अरे बट तेरे का यही स्टेप तेरा नहीं होगा तो फाइनल आंसर करके क्या करेगा कार्तिक.
सही बात है.
Makes sense.
So NPV IRR is just the final free cash flow मिला, उसको तुम एंटर कर रहे हो फंक्शन में. That's it, nothing else. Okay. So
cool.
वो yeah. Okay. So this is your capital budgeting as of now. Now I think question 17th and 13th solve on your own. We'll get back for the discussion tomorrow evening if you're okay with it, or day after tomorrow.
Okay.
कभी भी I think we need to decide a time क्योंकि अपना 4 बजे तक लेक्चर है, फिर ES भी है कोई दिन पे. कल ES नहीं है ना?
नहीं है शायद.
कल ES है.
ऑपरेशंस